What's up, millionaires in the making? Welcome back to another episode of the MITM podcast, where we unlock success daily by journeying through the 6 pillars. I'm your host, Ty Aarons, the founder of the MITM Club. And today we're talking about how identity comes before discipline. With that being said, run my intro.
Caught up in them bright lights, lusting for shiny things that's golden. Everything ain't always what it seems, that it's soaking. Chasing my dreams, coming apart at my seams. Best believe that the money is the motive.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of the MITM podcast. And identity comes before discipline for this simple reason. There's actually 5 core things we're going to talk about today. But, well, let's just jump into it. Identity shapes behavior over willpower. Now, research in psychology shows that long-term change isn't driven by willpower alone. It's actually changed by your identity. Our identity is based on what we see ourselves as. If someone thinks, I'm not a saver, then consistent saving feels unnatural, even if they want to, right? This is why, as we go, actually in my book, the Stop Drifting, I talk a lot about your personal identity, who you are. What is your credo? What is your way of life? What is your way of being? Your raison d'être. Now, when we have an identity shift to I am someone who saves, I am someone who works out, I am a loving man, or I'm a loving woman, I'm a great partner, right? When we have that identity shift, the behavior becomes easier. It becomes more sustainable. I was talking to one of my friends a little while ago how it's so important to have these non-negotiables in life, right? It's great to have a list of what we do, but it's also great to have a list of things of what we do not do. It's probably more important to have a list of what we do not do, right? Now, discipline without identity is just temporary. When you rely solely on discipline or self-control, I'm doing air quotes, y'all can't see that. You're fighting against your self-image. You're fighting against the default tendencies that exist within you. Now, discipline can work in short bursts, but over time, it gets exhausting. All that mental energy trying to keep yourself in check when you're someone that does X, Y, Z and not someone that does not do X, Y, Z. Changing identity actually rewires the default mindset that you have. It's making structural behavior automatic rather than just enforced. There's a couple different ways that we can rewire our identity. Heck, one of them is to change your environment, right? Maybe we raise our standards. Who knows? Now, identity provides this internal motivation. This is motivation rooted deeply in its internal locus of control identity, yeah? It's more consistent and deeper than just motivation tied to external rewards or even something like fear of failure. For example, someone that doesn't see themselves as fit naturally makes someone who sees themselves as fit naturally makes fitness choices. They go to the gym. They eat this food or they don't eat that food. Right? They update programs like XYZ. It's not a chore anymore. It's not discipline to force themselves to go. It's just a part of who they are. It's a part of who you are, who you become. Now, identity influences your habits and your environment. And also vice versa. Your environment will shape your identity. Your identity shapes who you notice and what you notice. It shapes what you value and what you choose to protect. When you start seeing yourself as a certain type of person, like an investor, like say this, I am an investor. I make money work harder than I do. Identity shift in a microcosm type of way. Or I'm a healthy eater. I only eat out once a month because I like to cook. I like to eat healthy food at home, right? I'm a disciplined earner. If you start to see yourselves as these different things, your environment and your habits start to adjust accordingly. And this happens before discipline even enters the picture. That's a crazy thing. There's something called habit loops and contextual cues. These emphasize self-identity as a filter for behavior selection. Now, identity change leads to sustainable transformation over time. Long-lasting transformation studies show that people who internalize a new identity sustain results longer than those who only follow external rules. Identity changes create a psychological foundation that supports consistent behavior without relying on discipline alone. Like mindset shifts, at least when they research this in behavioral science and habit changing frameworks, they can actually start to predict what happens in that person's life. All right? These frameworks have a predictive power on consistency, on what you do or don't do. It's kind of wild, right? The core takeaway for today for you guys, for all y'all's in the MITM club, the core thing that I want you to walk away with is discipline is powerful. It's extremely powerful. But without the identity that goes with it, it's like having fuel with no direction. You got no roadmap. You have nowhere to go. Identity is the lens that makes discipline effortless and automatic. It just becomes who you are. You just do the thing. You just get up and go. There's not much thought behind it, right? I want you to actually take a moment and think about what parts of your life just seem so easy and what parts of your life seem a lot more difficult. And I want you to take a moment right now. I want you to take a moment to think about what identity you have or had that is linked to either or. The things that you're struggling with, what's the identity you have aligned with those things? The things you find very easy, what's the identity that you have aligned with those things? Because whether it's good, whether it's bad, there's an identity attached to it. So with that being said, that wraps up today's episode of the MITM podcast. I hope you guys really take the moment to explore your personal identities. I hope that you got a lot out of today. If you loved it, make sure you share with someone, smash that like button, and I guess I will see you tomorrow. Peace.